over 50 challenges. Good luck to Ronu. You're the first opponent for today. 3+0 blitz. Here we go. Good luck to everyone today in Lichess plays. Let's play Sicilian to start. I have to slightly adjust my webcam here. Give me one moment. There we go. Make things look a little more aesthetically pleasing. Okay. Yeah, greetings to everyone following on both Twitch and YouTube. Maybe we're not live. Hold on. Hold. Looks like we're live on YouTube. Oh, no, we're good. Okay. I did a double take at first because it wasn't showing up as live on Twitch, but I think we're all good now. What's up, Imha? BD Gambitier, I see you. Yes, greetings to our viewers on both platforms. Wibster, Steve W, Emil. Hello, Bogdan. How's everyone doing today? Good stuff. Okay. I could also play knight f6 and maybe induce e5. Either way, let's play knight f6. We'll keep the tension a little bit longer. I think now I'm probably going to take... do I want to queen trade this early? Let's just postpone it still. We'll keep more pieces on board. Oh, and thank you, Casual Player, for subbing to the Lichess Twitch channel. Appreciate it. That's 7 months. Look at that. Hello to you, Casual Player. Greetings to Sin as well. Okay. E5. All right. So I can send the knight here or perhaps even here. I think I'm going to go to... that's an interesting question. I think I'm going to go to e8, actually. Maybe it can help with pushing b5 at some stage. Now, that seems a little bit risky because when I take, white is in a pin here. I wonder if I just go bishop c5, bishop e3, queen b6. And I wonder if I'm immediately winning material. That seems to check out, so I'm going to play it. What's up, Yanni Gogo? Also, Big Spence. Hello, Peter. Who's going to take me down this week? Last week was rough, I got to say. I had a couple losses last week. Tien Khan. I got to remember if I play Tien Khan that they're really, really fast. What's up, No Joke Chess? Greetings to our faithful mod out there. I saw your update, by the way, your Lichess Q&A. That was really well done. Good job on that. You guys can probably find that in the archive videos here on Twitch. Or if it's no longer archived, you can find it on YouTube, I'm quite sure. But basically, No Joke Chess provided just an update on where Lichess is at, answered a variety of questions. It was pretty informative. Let's go queen d4. If we get a trade, that knight on c3 is in trouble. I guess white can play queen f3. Rook f3, rather. Queen d3. Okay. Let's just take. Ooh, yeah, now this is nice because, again, because of the pin. Okay, Ronu, thank you for the game. So, I think it's possible to play this way, but I'm not a big fan of it. And d4, while a very natural seeming move, I think is pretty much losing unless you refrain from recapturing the pawn. Oh, maybe not. Is there a way out? What would it be? a5. Oh, that's very creative. You know, I did see a5, and I thought just queen a7. But that old engine, it points out this defense. Very creative defense of the knight on d4. So a5 prepares a rook lift in order to rescue the knight on d4, basically. Without that resource, white is busted. I think in a longer game, Ranu probably would have found that. But, yeah, that's hard to conceive of on the spot in a blitz game. So that's the only way out for white. Everything else loses a minor piece. I think here, white's kind of suffering from a poorly placed light square bishop. If the bishop were somewhere else, white could go knight e2. That would be a typical way to reinforce, or maybe pawn c3. But, yeah, white has to get very creative here. So d4 is, in fact, not so bad. Although I think I would probably prefer something like king h1, just step out of this diagonal. Thank you for the game, Ranu. Okay, moving right along here. Eel Rock, good luck to you. Let's play e4. Hello, Leopare. I see you on YouTube. Another one of our mods. Okay, let's play a gambit. So on takes, I'm going to play c3. We'll look for the gambit. Now, if black plays d takes c3, you can even think about going bishop c4. I'll do that, so sacrificing 2 pawns. There is a fairly well-known equalizer against this, but black has to very specifically know the continuation. And there's, of course, ways black can try to play for an advantage, too, if they don't want to play for simple equality. Hello, Axiom Fox. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, queen e7. Okay, so queen e7, I think in this exact position may not be the best because I take and I defend the pawn in the process. I do know you can go queen e7 here. I think if you're going to play it like right after white has gone c3 is probably the better time to do it. But this remains interesting. Okay, I'm just going to develop. I'm going to let black take here and then simply castle against that. What's up, Suad? Good to see you. Yep. Okay, so now we'll castle, get ready to recapture, and that rook is bound for e1. When you guys see this pattern, queen on e7, king on e8, think, how can I get a rook to e1? Same thing with colors reversed, too. That king and queen pattern on the e-file, that's just screaming rook over to create an alignment issue. And black tried to get out of the way here, but lost the knight in the process. Nine Aka, thank you for tuning in from work, nonetheless. Ooh, now let's hit him with this one. This is a nice move. Take, knight e5 check with the fork. Big time fork of the king and the queen. Yes, we're playing the Danish Gambit. I tend to get the Danish and the Gurian Gambit confused. Okay, we'll take here. If queen b3, black could have blocked with the queen, but now queen b3 will be checkmate on the next move. This is forced. Bishop e6. That's a funny move to like pre-move. It looks very odd to pre-move that move, but when your opponent only has one legal reply to escape mate, you can do it. Okay, thank you, Eel Rock, for the game. Yeah, so as I said, queen e7, if you're going to do it, I believe it's playable here. Forgot exactly what this variation is called. But yeah, you can do it right at this moment. It doesn't show the sub-variation, but I forgot exactly what that line is called. Rosentreader or something like that? Rosentreader? Not named after Eric Rosen. But black took, which is also, of course, possible. So if black wants to purely try to equalize on this line, there is this well-known variation where you go d5 here. So after bishop takes b2, you take on b2. White's down 2 pawns, but has 2 screaming bishops down the diagonal. You can play d5, bishop takes d5, knight f6, blundering, bishop takes f7, king takes f7, queen takes d8. But then black immediately recoups the material with bishop b4 check, opening the line here. White has to go queen d2 so they don't lose the queen straight up. Take. I think the move is rook e8 here, is what most people play. And when the dust settles, this is an even material situation, and things have been greatly simplified. And there's tons and tons of games from here that you'll find, especially in the Lichess database, I'm sure. But black's doing completely fine here. So that's one way to play. Thank you, Eel Rock, for the game. Tezjo, you're up next. All right, Tezjo is ready. Look at that, e4, firing it out. Let's play at Alekhein's defense. Aljochen's defense. Hello, Big Spence, as well as Peter Krupa. I don't know if I said hi to you earlier. Okay, let's go knight d5. Thank you, Jake Harkins, by the way. says long-time watcher, first time tuning in live. Excellent. Very good. Okay, so could take on e5 here. I'm going to go g6, though. Thoughts after Warriors lost game 1? Ooh, yeah. I was surprised, I got to say. I was surprised. Let's go c6. Could also play knight b6, but I don't necessarily want to face bishop takes f7 or have to calculate it, although it was probably not good, I'm realizing. But yeah, kudos to the Boston Celtics. They were quite impressive down the stretch in game 1 of the NBA Finals. Ben Johnson, who has the Perpetual Chess podcast, if any of you guys listen to that, he asked for predictions on Twitter of what would happen in the NBA Finals. And I did pick the Warriors in 5 games, which I know is a very aggressive pick and not at all a pick you'd want to like bet money on. But I've been really liking the way that they played. However, the Celtics were super impressive last game. I got to say, they're poised. They're a good team, no doubt. You don't get this far without being a great team. But they exceeded what I thought they were going to show in the moment. Very, very impressive. Yeah, so when they play Queen C1, you can kind of take it as gospel that they're going to try to play Bishop H6 and trade the bishops. So I'm going to step back here. I'm going to try to keep those bishops on board. My position feels a little bit cramped here, but I think it's still fine. I wonder if he's going to try to transfer the queen to f4. This is getting a little bit potentially isolated. Never play f6. I'm sorry, Ben Feingold, for I have sinned, but I want to try to break out here. Matt Black Matt, thank you for subbing on the Lichess channel. Appreciate that, tier 1. Do you do a lot of sports betting? No. Yeah. I really do not gamble at all. I think I bet on sports maybe like twice in my life. I've gambled more than that, but many, many years ago. And never for substantial stakes. Yeah, never play f6. Let's see if I can work my way out of this, though. I'm looking good here. Hopefully, I can demonstrate that both of White's bishops are sort of out of the game on b3. Whoa, knight b5. What is that move, Tesjo? Why did you play that? You're giving me this. Is this bait? I have a feeling Tesjo either completely missed that the pawn was guarding b5, or Tesjo is trying to play a capture on d5 at some point. I don't know, though. That just looks like a straight-up mental mistake. Maybe there's nothing deeper here. Carry on my way says, all I gamble with is my elo. I think many people can relate. Yeah, I wonder if the idea was bishop takes d5 here, which, yeah, unfortunately for White, just doesn't work. Okay, queen f4. Now, this is guarded. There's no back rank checkmate. Probably just bishop g7 here. I think makes sense. I could maybe play something like queen b8 as well. But I'm just going to go bishop g7. Oh, thanks again, Matt Black Matt. Very kind of you to support the Lichess channel like that. 1,000 bits coming in from Matt Black Matt. That's huge. Says, loves Chessable and my De La Via endgame study. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, glad you've checked that out. All right. Just looking to simplify here. Queen f8, maybe. This is slightly annoying because White has some activity. Let's go queen f7. I just got to be careful on all these points. Let's go knight c4. We'll jump in, attack the queen, attack the pawn down here. Get a trade. We'll straighten out the pawns. Defend. This is defended over here. And we're up a knight. Okay. Destro, thank you for the game. I think your position was completely reasonable. I was kind of playing in cramped fashion, honestly. I don't really like my setup here. I don't play the Alekhine's defense, really. But I think we're demonstrating nice active play. Yeah, perhaps knight g5 is not the best move. That's kind of my gut instinct. I think this f6 reply, I don't think it completely solves my problems, but wow, look at that. The engine loves your position around here. In true engine fashion, it's suggesting pushing a rook pawn. h4, a4 even to go chase the knight. Queen f4. Yeah, no doubt you're doing pretty well here. Knight d1, that's a sophisticated move. Reposition the knight. Knights like this tend to stand poorly because they're restricted by the enemy pawns. To me, queen f4 looked like a pretty good move here just to coordinate the rooks, maybe shift the queen over here. Because then knight g5, let's just say for the sake of argument, something like this. Maybe then knight g5 makes more sense because I could have problems on h7 in the near future. Well, I guess f6 is even still good here, but you get the point. So, yeah, kind of maybe allowed me to get more pieces in the game, and knight b5, I'm sure, was just a mental mistake on your part. Thank you for the game. All right, let's keep going here. Just as a reminder, anyone can challenge on Lichess Plays. This is a 2-hour event where I play viewers in 3+0 Blitz. So it has to be 3+0. It can be casual or rated. I will put my rating on the line against you guys. Last time in the very last game of Lichess Plays, it was a blindfold game that I played, and my rating was on the line there. And I took a hit. So I'm fully willing to do that against you guys. So if you want to challenge me rated, you can. If you want to be merciful, you can challenge unrated. Up to you. All right, let's go a6. I'm going to challenge that bishop right away against Lord Voldemort. Lord Voldemort, by the way, is a Lichess patron. You can see that by the wings. So thank you to Lord Voldemort for that. Oh, thank you very much. I love being John Bartholomew. That's the person's username. I'm not just saying that. They said, John, I am closing on my first home in 3 weeks, and you are invited to the housewarming party. I greatly appreciate that. That would be cool if I could make it. If you're local to me, hey, you never know. But I would assume you're not in Minnesota. When did I switch from chess.com to Lichess? I remember watching your Climbing the Rating Ladder series way back in 2017. So the thing is, I've almost always played on both platforms. Yeah, I use both chess.com and Lichess. And in fact, when I first started posting on my personal channel on YouTube, I was recording exclusively on the Internet Chess Club, the ICC, which is a semi-defunct platform now, but it's still around. So I would encourage you guys to do the same. I mean, I think you should take advantage of all of the resources out there for chess. Obviously, we love Lichess. Lichess is fantastic. But also the cool thing about Lichess is they're offering a free service to the chess community, and they're not really concerned about what, quote unquote, competing sites are doing. They just want to create the best site and the best community possible. So, they're not concerned about tribalism or anything like that. I think that's a really cool aspect of the Lichess ethos. A lot of chess players have been getting into poker. Do you play poker, John? Yes. So I played a lot of poker, I'd say 10 to 15 years ago when there was a poker boom going on. Absolutely. Yeah. I still play every once in a while for fun, but not nearly to the extent that I did previously. Maybe h6 here. Let's do that. I can take that rook at any point. My knight is defended here, so white's not going to capture. This move's kind of nasty, actually, because now when I take, there's a discovery here on the queen. I just won the house. All right, let's take this. We're just picking up the material here. This is guarded. That was kind of brutal. Yeah, that got out of hand in a hurry. I kind of like my position right around here because I feel like black having the two center pawns. Thank you, Lord Voldemort, for the game. I think black having the two center pawns and white's queenside being somewhat difficult to advance should give black some advantage. So I was just stacking up my pieces on the queen side. I don't know about this maneuver. I kind of just did this naturally. Maybe I have better right around here. Probably, yeah, knight d3 just seems like an outright losing move, huh? Because it gave up control of that vital c4 square. So that was the move we can pinpoint. h4, okay. Yet another rook pawn push. I like this suggestion of stockfish because my bishop is a little uncomfortable being constantly eyed up by the knight here. The knight can capture it at any moment. I don't, therefore, really want to play h6 because if take, this e6 pawn drops off. So yeah, I can see how that was the move here. Thanks for the game, Lord Voldemort. Okay, Philip Chess is next, 12-17. Let's play d4 against Philip. Hello, Edward Reynolds. I see you on YouTube. Greetings. All right, I'm going to go Jobava style. Steve asks, hey, John, have you been watching the I Am Not a GM tournament? If so, who are you rooting for? Yep, I've been watching a little bit. I haven't caught like the entirety of the matches. Let's see. I've been impressed with Lawrence and Eric so far. Yeah, I think both those players are showing a lot of creativity and poise. Let's keep the tension here. I said I was going to go Jobava, and then I played Bishop G5. I don't know. Jobava London would have been Bishop F4. So yeah, I think Lawrence and Eric are both showing great form. I like at least one of those players to get to the finals. I think they're on opposite sides of the bracket, so theoretically, either of them could make it. You root for Eric? Yeah, I think Eric has a lot of people rooting for him. Absolutely. How many challenges have I received? Over 50. I can't tell how many, but I would guess somewhere in the 60 to 70 range. Oh, thank you, Escapade Beats. I appreciate you saying that. Do chess skills translate to cards in some way? So kind of asking about the poker connection. You know, I think there's some translation, yes, some crossover skills. However, I always felt like poker was a much more difficult game than chess from a like psychological standpoint. To me, it didn't even seem close actually, because of the uncertain outcome in poker. Even if you play a hand correctly, like you can still easily lose. That happens all the time. You have to, like, the game, in my opinion, becomes much more psychological in terms of managing your own emotions and your reaction to statistical events. Whereas chess is like highly direct in terms of its correlation between the quality of your moves and the output. There's very little doubt that if you play good chess moves, you're going to have good results. And those good chess moves are also not in doubt. Whereas in poker, like, you can have debatable plays, right? Like, two good poker players could disagree about how a certain street of the hand should be played. Of course, you have stuff like bankroll management as well. There's the whole money aspect. So they are different animals. Rook b8 is a very odd move here. I can win the exchange by taking. I can also take here and then try to go after the black king. I could even keep the tension a little bit. I think I'll just go after the exchange plus pawn. So we got the fork here. Bold says, poker theory has really changed over the last 10 years. Yeah, absolutely. It seems like the level of play is so much higher nowadays. Takes more patience to play chess. I don't know. So we're attacking the rook, or attacking the queen with the rook, rather. Hello, idiot chess. Good to see you. Let's go here. This pawn's hanging, but I don't want to allow queen c6 or anything yet. Bold says, the best thing about chess is there is no luck, like in poker. Exactly, yeah. There's very, very little of what you could consider luck in chess. You know, some people might consider luck to be stuff like pairings, but the game itself, basically a luckless game, if we want to call it that. Now let's give a check down here, because I'm going to go after that rook on h8. And Philip runs out of time, but yeah, here I was ready to play rook takes h8. Yes, thank you for the game, Philip. So, yeah, rook b8. I wonder if that was like it almost looks like a mouse slip or something by you. Granted, though, I think this position's already close to lost for you because there's no good way to defend this knight. You're going to have to give up, at minimum, a pawn here. And your king is also probably going to have to get a little messed up. So, yeah, I think maybe you played a little over ambitiously. Like g5, I'm always a little skeptical of that move because it puts the question to your king where you're going to castle, how you're going to keep your king safe. Here, I think if you play something that covers the e5 square, maybe even f6. You know, speaking of f6, this is another case where you might consider it because it guards e5. It weakens this square, no doubt. Like, you got to be careful about a queen coming here if I move my knight. But that's probably the best move. Or close to it. a6, also decent. Bishop g7, also trying to guard e5. So allowing that knight to come up gave you a lot of problems. Thanks for the game. Infinite Ocean, good luck to you. 22-15. All right, here we go. Let's play another d4. Maybe this time I will play a Jobava London. Your birthday is in 2 months. What do you want as a present? Well, yeah, my birthday is a little ways away compared to that. Should I try to trap my opponent? Infinite Ocean is going to see through this. You guys know what the trap is with this move? A3. Oh, Infinite saw it. Point being, if queen takes b2, knight a4. And with a3, you're guarding the a3 square with the rook, and you're also guarding b4. Okay, bishop here. Let's play bishop d3. I'm going to continue playing actively. I'm going to continue to offer the b pawn. Black is not biting. It's castle. Castle short. You know, you can also try to shove these pawns, but I think that because of the fact that black has played queen b6, I think it's better to castle short and go from there. Wasn't g2 also hanging? g2? This pawn? Ooh, that's a creative move. Okay. So the point here is on takes, I think black's going to play knight takes e5. I'm a little skeptical of this move, though. So yeah, if bishop takes e5, then queen takes e3, followed by taking there. But I can't help but shake the feeling that there's some sort of knight a4 idea that I can throw in somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe this checks out. It's very interesting. If I play knight a4 here, probably queen c7 is going to be the answer, is the thing. Might be a good move. And if take, check, here, take. I'd like to get a rook to e1, but my knight is in the way. You know what? I'm convinced by black's idea. I'm going to go bishop f2. I'm going to admit that e5 is a good move. and just retreat. John, would you say you always go for d4 when it's a serious game against a highly rated opponent? Not always, but that is my main move. Yeah, d4 or knight f3 on move 1. Like if I'm playing tournaments, yeah, that's often what I play. All right, bishop e7. So it looks like black is more or less just trying to get castled. Makes sense. Knight a4 comes to mind. There's always queen a5, though. Let's play rook e1. Okay, let's go here. And then here. Attack the bishop. Infinite Ocean's playing solid. Let's go here. Still not afraid of this capture, because now this rook coming over to b1 will trap the queen. I am afraid of my clock situation, though. Ooh, that seems like a blunder, though. I think Infinite Ocean just blundered. Maybe it was stronger to use the other knight. I should have done that. Oh. Yeah, I think black had to play queen d8 or something there, because now this is a big issue. And if queen here, I have either bishop c7 or knight c7. Probably bishop c7 is best. So black got over ambitious with that c5 move. That was the issue. Now we'll take like this. I think up till that point, I mean, e5 was very creative, well calculated. Up till that point, Infinite Ocean was doing well. Let's go here. I know I can take b6, but I'm going to hold off on that for a moment. Okay. So now, if I can free up my rook, I can fork my opponent. I don't see a good way to do it, though, so I'm just going to go for the rook in the corner. I have 15 seconds left. So I need to hurry. And the d-pawn's running. The d-pawn is a running. Just got to convert here. That's it. Checkmate. Whew. I got down to 2 seconds, but we have the mating pattern, the very efficient mating pattern. Thank you, Infinite Ocean, for the game. Tough one, tough one. Yeah, I think you were doing just fine until c5. Let's go back to that moment. Instant replay. This moment right here. I think the position's pretty close to equal. Ooh, better for black. g5. The engine likes your position. That actually makes sense, because maybe this alignment here is more of an issue than I thought. Black does have a pretty compact position. So, yeah, I guess if you play it right, you're a little bit for choice. But this, on the other hand, yeah, major, major mistake. That said, though, this was sloppy on my part. I should have taken this way to open the bishop right away. Because by taking with this knight, I gave you a few extra options, like queen d8, that could have maybe kept you in the game. And let's also check e5. I think that's a good move. Yeah, e5 is best. Excellent move by black. So I think Infinite Ocean was playing well. And just to recap this a3 move, you see this sometimes when the queen comes out to b6. Point being, if takes, I play knight a4. Queen has been trapped. All these squares are taken away. No check here. The knight covers. I'll actually very quickly show you a tournament game I had against like a 17 or a 1800 U.S. Chess Federation rating when I was a teenager. So I was playing white, went like this. This is a very short game. My opponent played the Najdorf variation. I played bishop g5. Okay. And I think it went e6, f4, and now queen b6. Yeah, this was it. So this poison pawn variation where black often does try to go after b2. So a lot of times white will allow that pawn to be captured, and I did so by playing a3. So same pattern, and my opponent evidently was like unaware of what a3 was all about. Took this, and then I got in knight a4, and I quickly won the game. Same exact type of trap. No safe squares for the queen. I think my opponent played takes, and then knight takes e4, which was met by knight b6, and then they resigned. 11 move game. So you can think about that. You can add that to your arsenal. If you want to like maintain the status quo and shut down the queen takes b2 threat for the short term, it can be an option. Okay, on to the next game. Levitating. Ooh, 23-20. We have some history. Levitating has beat me before. Oh, this is my opponent in that blindfold game last time. Yeah. Oh, you're challenging to casual this time. I think the last one was rated, but let's play Scandy. Shout out to Levitating. Yeah, this was the final game of the last stream. Queen d2 mainline is insane. Yeah, that's a complicated variation for sure. You are right about that. Never take that b2 pawn. Yeah, it is known as a poison pawn for a reason. Okay, knight f3. How do I want to treat this? Probably e6 to start. This is a standard move, so I'll play e6. Now I think I'm going to take and then play c6. Also pretty typical fare for a Scandinavian. Pawns on light squares. Yep. Let's go all the way back to guard f6. And if white takes, I think I'm going to take with the queen. I will offer to play that endgame. We'll see if Levitating takes me up on it. These endgames are interesting because you might say, well, aren't these pawns bad? But it's possible I can advance f5 at some point. White plays g4, which is an ambitious move. It's possible I could advance here. I would say also the pawns provide some nice protection of all these squares on the fifth rank. Let's go h5. Hello to a youthful porpoise as well. Happy Sunday to you too. All right. Should I trade there? Kind of thinking I want to keep the tension for a moment. So let's just develop. And if white castles queenside, maybe I'll play bishop h6, in fact. Some of the lines in theory in the queen d2 line go as deep as move 40. Oh, yeah, you're talking about that poison pawn variation? Yeah, it's intense. Absolutely. Let's castle here. So these bishops look threatening, but I think without a queen on board, I don't have to worry about some sort of like Boden's mate style idea. At least not yet. Okay, c3. Probably just bring my knight out. Maybe I can try to be annoying. Knight c4, knight d5. I think white's a little unsure where to put their king because, again, if white ever castles, I probably am going to go bishop h6. Let's go here. And I think I'm going to go bishop h6 now, or maybe here. It's interesting too. But let's go bishop h6. I think white has lost their way a little bit. I think Levitating didn't necessarily want to move those pawns. The whole bishop f4 thing didn't look quite correct there. Okay, another ambitious move, but take, knight f4, that's winning a pawn, right? Looks good to me. Issue here, issue here. Maybe bishop f3, rook takes d4, king e3. I'd have to play e5. Ooh, does this move? So now I'm thinking about taking this one, you know? I can capture that due to the pin. I have my choice of moves here. I mean, they both look pretty good. Don't get me wrong. They both look quite nice. Let's take this one. I want to capture that pawn in the middle. It's too tempting. I think there's still issues here. You know, I'm still kind of threatening this, but too tempting. Okay, rook over. I'll take this one. Let's give... Oh, I can't give that check yet, unfortunately. All right, let's bring this up. I was thinking I could check h3 and if take, like, somehow mate white, but white's escaping up the board. All right, maybe f5. Keep my opponent cramped here. This is a winning position, but we still got to convert it, you know? We must convert. Let's bring this over. Okay, now I'm actually threatening a checkmate. I was threatening rook d3 there. Okay, keep this blocked. It's so close to a mate, but I'm not seeing it. Not seeing the checkmate. This is the idea now. Too many issues for white. All right. Thank you, Levitating, for the game. Yeah, I do think you got too ambitious after the queens got traded around here. Maybe even g4 looks a little questionable to me that early. Allowing h5. That's just some annoying tension because, I mean, white could take, but then they have to decide if the h-pawn is more of a strength than a weakness or vice versa. It'll be passed, but it's going to be blockaded. So I think roundabout here, your position might still be okay, but I think you have to play pretty precisely. Like somehow after b3, well, the engine's still showing equal. I guess c4 is the move that really loosens your position too much. Bishop f3. I don't know. I would take black here pretty much every time, but I don't doubt that it's close to equal still. The engine's unimpressed. But yeah, after this was a double attack. And off to the races here. Already -5. Because not only is white down a pawn, but very little counterplay here, too. Did I ever miss, like, a mating idea? Ah, here's where I could have played rook h3. And on take here, because I am covering that square now. But I guess there's always f3, so that might be similar to the game. Oh, I missed a mate here. Knight g2. Knight g2 and then f4. Ah, that would have been nice. Here, and regardless of how white takes, I guess if bishop takes, there's mate here, but yeah, could do a mate like this, either of the rooks to d4. Okay, so that was there for a couple moves, actually. I went for a different checkmate pattern. Thanks for the game, Levitating. Tough opponent there. Kimya. Good luck to Kimya. Let's play d4 again. I'm just catching up on the chat here. Play a Queen's Gambit this time. I can't tell what the YouTube chat is talking about. They're talking about doubled pawns and also some sort of probability. I feel like I joined an intense conversation midway through. Something about luck in chess, I think. All right, let's take this one now. So bishop e6 followed by bishop f5 looks a little inconsistent on black's part. Let's go knight e5. I might get ambitious here. I might go for g4. Let's try it. Let's just see how Kimya reacts. What's up, Cheeseburgers? Cheeseburger says, I know you like Helston's Mastering Chess Strategy book. Any tips on getting through that one? It's quite stale, so I get burnt out really, really quick. Great content in the book, though I'm in a bit of a dilemma. Yeah, I do like that book a lot. I would say definitely take your time with it. It's an advanced book, so I'm not sure of your exact level, Cheeseburgers, but definitely pace yourself with that one. Solve some of the exercises. One thing I like about that book is it has a ton of exercises in it. So you might find what works for you, whether it's being a little more exercise heavy or actually reading the material. But that's the type of book you can read over the course of 6 months or a year, come back to it, no problem. Oh, yeah, YouTube chat is debating luck in chess. I think that's right. I think it is semantics. I think it depends on how you define it, right? Okay, black's not taking with the queen because I think they saw that this would be the answer. Queen takes a8. But now I have some nice options. I can take on f7. I can deliver a check here. I think I'll take f7. That looks pretty clean. Go after the pawn. Your 2000chess.com. Okay, yeah, exactly. I think that book is a good fit for you then. Still challenging. Now let's check here. Or can I check here and maybe win faster? Looking for a mate. There's also even this check. I feel like, I think I see a mate here. And if king b6, queen b5. So queen d5, king here, queen f5. If king goes back to c6, queen b5's mate. So that only leaves king e7 or king e8, both of which are met by queen here, mate. I think that's the play. And if I check here, then king b6 is better. So yeah, I think this is the way to do it. The queen and the light square bishop are going to get the job done on their own. Yeah, this is a nice check right here. Takes away c8. Gives black these three options. But since this one's always met by that, very efficient checkmate, queen and bishop. 2 squares taken away from the black king. This is GG. This is like checkmate patterns manual type stuff. Would I ever buy a Tesla? Oof, I don't know, man. Maybe someday. But not anytime soon for me personally. Thank you for the game, Kimya. Yeah, G6 was an ambitious move on my part. But then again, you did lose time playing bishop e6 to f5. Yeah, you're a little bit behind in development here. Knight takes f7 is good here, huh? Interesting. Engine wants me to take and fork. Take, queen f3. And then if the knight comes back, just play this move. And it really likes white in this position. Yeah, Kimya, probably the way that I played after g4, if you go bishop g6, I think you can keep things together here. I think it's okay. Because let's say I play h4 trying to chase you. You always have this capture on e5 to defend. Yeah. That was a dovetail mate. That's right, Tucson. Exactly. So I think bishop e4 is probably the move that especially starts to give you problems here, although the position was a little sketchy earlier due to the loss of time. Yeah, this is simply very difficult to defend because you've got issues on all these squares. Bishop takes e5. Yeah, I could see that being an option. But and then I think you missed this queen coming back to f3. But honestly, I think the position pretty close to loss anyways if you have to play king takes d7 here. Yeah, actually, h4 would trap the knight, wouldn't it? Because I guard all these squares. Thank you for the game, Kimya. Kimya is a regular here on Lichess Plays, so always great to see Kimya. Okay, Smearing, you're up. Getting a lot of 22, 2300s. Lichess Plays getting tougher, getting more difficult all the time. You love to see it. Okay, I'll play my usual way here, I guess. Bishop g4. It's a sort of a reverse Trumpowski opening. Yeah, thank you, Ricardo. My pleasure. Ooh, Magnus lost. Is that right? He lost to Vichy? Wow. Vichy at age, what, like 53? Turning back the clock. That's impressive. I saw right before I went live that Magnus's position looked a little bit sketchy, so not totally surprised. Impressive. Oh, thank you, Eric. Yeah. Thanks for your kind message. Glad you look forward to this every Sunday, as do I. I'm going to put the bishop here. This is sometimes debatable, guys, like where to put the bishop, whether it's e7 or d6. I found sometimes if you put the bishop on e7, it's a little less subject to getting attacked. But d6 does look like the more active square. Maybe it would have been better there. But I'm going to keep it back for a moment. Oh, they drew? I was going by YouTube chat, which said that Vichy won. We have conflicting information. We could check it out. We could go to the very handy tool, watch, and then broadcast to check it out if we wanted to. Let's go here. Drew Classical 1 Armageddon. Vichy 1 Armageddon. We'll go here. White's telegraphing their intentions, so I'm just going to put a stop to that. That is an awesome page. Yes, the broadcast page. Lots of amazing events you can find there. Okay, so my opponent is insistent on trying to get in b4. Understandable. I don't know, though. White's position seems a little bit loose. I'm going to go knight f8. I don't think I greatly mind white pushing b4. It is a typical idea, don't get me wrong. But somehow, like, all the pawns that white has pushed looks kind of suspicious to me. Let's go here. We're going to attack the bishop. I might go b5. We shall see. Wow. Yeah. I mean, Vichy, so impressive. Okay. Yeah, let's go b5. So this is a committal decision because I do create a backward pawn here, but I stop white from playing b5. Maybe rook a3 was good, actually. But if I can ever get a knight to c4, I think I'd really like this position. I might still go rook a3 now. Yeah, I think I will, and start playing down the a file. White has the two bishops. Certainly the dark square bishop is pretty strong, but I can always play... Maybe I go bishop d6 here. Maybe that's the move. Let's do that. Let's start with that move. I'll try to neutralize one of the bishops, the good bishop. The other one's just blocked by my pawn, so I'm curious how white's going to try to open that up in the future. Knight e2, okay. Okay. Let's take. Then we'll go here. Defend this. All right. I guess I'll go here. This feels a little bit defensive, but again, I do need to keep this safe. Knight's coming back. What next? Knight here, perhaps. Let's do it. This gives up the c5 square. White could try to invade, but I don't know. I have a good feeling about this. I really do. Go here. Okay, white's kind of going defensive now. Time's becoming a big factor. We'll go here. Okay. That knight is going to d3. It's bound for d3. So I think it's time to spring into action. Go for an attack. Let's give a check here. And, oof, I feel I'm really close to something here. Let's do this. Really, really close to something. White's trying to keep material on board, which is understandable. Check. Check. Let's bring this over. Take. Oh, hang you, rook. Oh, and I got him. Okay. Smearing is pretty fast, but fortunately I was able to break through on the king side. Thank you, Smearing, for the game. Yep, good player. 2,000 plus, 2,200 plus, and a bunch of time controls. Interesting one. Yeah, so you had that minority attack looking to go b4, b5. I shut it down with the b5 move myself. Again, I did feel like I was better here, but it's not super easy to prove. So tangled battle, interesting fight. I think you played very well for a lot of it, especially from a position that looked a little prone to blowing up. And actually around here, I'm not even better anymore, according to the computer. Maybe knight g5 was a little aimless. I was kind of like vaguely going for the e4 square or some sort of tactic here, but it didn't really pan out. I missed mate in one. Let's see where. I don't doubt you. This is guarded, though. So queen takes f2 is not mate. We always got to remember our backward knight moves. Okay, rook a2 looks a lot better. I just instinctively moved the attacked rook close to my king. Oh, right here on the next move. Yeah. Queen takes f2. Well, I obeyed the common refrain in that if you see checkmate in one, look for better. When you see checkmate in one, look for better. So I decided on a line that I was so consumed by winning that rook on c1 via this sequence, I had to go for that. All right, thanks for the game, Smearing. Who's up next here? Jarm, 1, 2, 3. Good luck to Jarm. I recognize you. We've never played. Is that right, Jarm? Interesting. Okay, let's play e5. Next YouTube title, John misses mate in one for the content, right? Yeah, just a reminder, Lichess has been posting clips from Lichess Plays streams on YouTube. So if you guys want some bite-sized little clips, maybe you can't watch the entire stream, go check out the YouTube channel. Thank you, R. Beasley, by the way, for subbing with Prime. Yeah, the clips are nicely done. I agree. Those are fun. All right. So this is a pretty typical Gioco Pianissimo. I'm going to go bishop a7. I think this is often a smart play if you've played a6, just to rule out any sort of d4 or b4 with tempo. Let's attack the bishop. Now, if white goes bishop h4, I think I should go ahead and play g5 here. I think this is a case where you want to do it. Knight takes g5 would have been interesting. The computers never really seemed to like that, but definitely would have been interesting. Let's go here. Now, watch the bishop sniping from the corner. It creates an issue for white because knight takes g3 is a big-time threat. It's not a trade. It's an outright win of a piece. Okay, now I feel like g4 is already pretty good for me. This is one thing when white plays h3 in these Gioco Pianissimo positions. This g4 move hits pretty hard because if white captures, they're stepping into a pin. Another pin. And we're going to get that. Knight bd2, yep. Makes sense. Let's go queen f6. Increase the pressure a little bit. Maybe I go king h7, rook g8. We're going to try to make it uncomfortable for the king on g1. Oh, I don't know that I've seen that one. The one move blunder clip. I can't place that one. b4. Okay, here we go. This is already pretty nasty for white. Bishop takes f3 is a big threat. I think king h1 is pretty much the only move here. Yup. Now, you know what? You know what, folks? I'm starting to look at some sacrifices. Some real tempting stuff, like take, knight takes, rook takes g2. King takes g2, rook g8. Bishop g3, only move, but maybe a saving move there. Can I play bishop takes f2 then? Oh, it's getting really tempting. I mean, knight f4 looks pretty good here too, but I can't tear my eyes away from that line I just calculated. You know, I know you guys have that feeling sometimes. Bishop takes f3, knight takes f3, rook takes g2, rook g8, bishop g3. I mean, there's knight f4, but then king h2. I mean, I guess I could go... Nah, I don't quite buy that. Take, take, take. Bishop takes f2, very interesting, but I feel like I'm coming up short. Could just try to double my rooks. I have 48 seconds left, but I'm onto something here. I know it. All right, we're just gonna try to double the rooks. I'm gonna be real furious though if this is the idea. We're definitely gonna look at that afterwards. d4, okay. I could win a pawn, but I'm just gonna ignore that. We're playing for the glory, folks. I guess the idea is if take, there is this down here. Okay. Now take? Let's go knight f4. What's up, Shown Apex? All right, so I've got almost all my pieces in good position here. But there's still no absolute knockout in sight. I still need to increase the pressure further. Very tough position for Jarm to defend, though. All right. Let's take this way. This opens the dark square bishop, too, by the way. Maybe I just take there now. Could also take here. Let's do this. So crashing through, I'm trying to get in bishop takes f3 next. That's the play. Oh, and now take. Take. And this is going to be mate shortly. Checkmate. Double check and mate. Thanks for the game, Jarm. Yeah, I think that's a lot of different colors here. We don't like to see that. That usually means just blunders on both sides. Yeah, really uncomfortable situation for you to defend, I think. Once black has played g5, even though I've castled kingside, chasing the bishop, and if you don't have like some sort of knight takes e5 tactic, I think this is in black's favor. Yeah, the engine seems to really like black's position roundabout here. Though, maybe defensible for you. Let's just see that moment I was calculating. It does look like I need to build the position up a little bit. Rook g6. Oh, yeah, rook g6 could be played too to try to double. Maybe that's better because it creates a bit more of an obstacle here. So what I was calculating was take, knight takes, and then rook takes g2, but I just couldn't make it work. due to bishop g3. Any other move, black wins here, but bishop g3. I was thinking, maybe I go bishop takes f2 now and try to remove the defender here, but it's too much material. Yeah, even if white were to give back the queen in some line like this, it's still too much material. So I opted to build things a little bit, rook g7. But I guess if you defend correctly here, it's not so bad at this point, half pawn. But in practice, I think this is pretty tough for white, because the margin for error is pretty slim here. Knight takes e5 is stronger here, I guess. Why is that? Because if takes, just pawn takes, and this is already -7. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, that's for sure. So thanks for the game charm. Yeah, I do think that bishop g5 move, probably one that you got to rethink in these positions. I do think it's better to go knight bd2 or b4. Be very selective about when you play bishop g5, even if black has castled. Because it's not like bishop g5 situations where you have a knight on c3 where you can try to quickly go knight d5. These Gioco Pianissimo positions are always a little bit slower than that. All right. Who do we have next? p2, good luck to you. Yeah, that was a wild game, wasn't it? At the end. P2, are you there? 1889. Okay, we're going to have to move on. You can always re-challenge if you want. I see your challenge up there, Aryan, by the way. GM Sean is next. Let's play in English. Was that game a Rosen Trophy? I do not know. Good question. Double check and mate. Wouldn't be surprised if that was a Rosen Trophy. Okay, I'm going to play a Bothanic English setup. E4, knight ge2. We'll play like this. D3. Usual plan, H3, bishop E3. This is kind of handy just so you don't have to worry about a piece coming to G4. So I can park my bishop here. Greetings, Aryan. Do chess skills translate to different activities? We were kind of talking about that earlier. Someone asked about chess and poker. Certainly. Yeah, I think certainly chess skills do translate to other areas of life. Absolutely. So in this line, white can decide to play on either wing, potentially. I mean, a lot of times you do play on the king side and you go for f4. But it wouldn't be unusual to see me going like rook b1, b4, b5 as well. That would be a common idea too. Chess teaches you to be objective. Yes, I would agree with that. Chess translates extremely well with first-person shooter games like CSGO. Is that true? That's interesting if so. I don't know how I want to handle this position. I'm thinking of a few different things. I mean, G4 comes to mind, trying to force the knight back to F6. I think I might do that because I'm not afraid of knight F4. So I'm going to take this opportunity to go knight G3 and work up to F4 this way. John, whenever I try to challenge you, it says error, you can't challenge Finns. Interesting. I don't know why that would be. Maybe someone else can confirm if that's actually the case. Not doubting you, Drazinho, but I hope that's not a widespread problem. All right, so this side of the board is now pretty locked, but I don't think it's going to remain locked forever, so I'm going to go knight f5. You were thinking more like war. Does chess translate to war? I would not know. But, I mean, chess is often seen as a proxy for war. So perhaps. This is an interesting maneuver because that kind of holds up h4. Probably a good idea. Now, do I bring my knight to g3? I don't know. I've got a bad bishop here. I mean, d4 kind of comes to mind. Let's actually break in the center with d4. We'll try to introduce a different element to the position. But I think that's a great idea by black. Knight e7 to g6. Challenging works for me, says Doc Rogers. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't had any other reports of people unable to challenge Drazinho. Okay, let's take. So now I've got this opened up. I think I can win a pawn here if I play bishop takes f4. We want to take with this one. We don't want to take with the knight because then my bishop would become trapped. Yeah, let's just go after the pawn here. I think that's the best I'm going to get. Now, should I take this one? Seems a little bit greedy. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to pull back here, bishop f3. Go here. No about rook g8. I don't think it's likely black's going to get anything going down this file. Very blocked position on the king side. But if GM Sean takes now, that rook is coming over to h1. Okay, so GM Sean closes it down, probably wisely. Okay, let's push here. Oh, panic from black. The time is getting too low. Let's go pick this one up. That's a funny move. All right, thanks for the game, GM Sean. I think the position was fine for you right around knight g6. This actually looks completely playable. Engine disagrees yet again. I mean, it says advantage white, but I don't know. It didn't feel easy to me in the game. Yes, thank you for the game, Sean. I see you in the Twitch chat. That being said, like maybe this whole plan is questionable. For black, that is, playing knight h5, especially with h6, because the timing of f5 never really works for you. So the engine does seem to be a little skeptical of it. Really doesn't like g5, but interestingly, that's the move that seems kind of consistent here to close things down. But the engine is not a fan. Yeah, I felt like I was played after d4, you definitely shouldn't take on f5. Although, again, the engine disagrees. Yeah, I don't know. This seems to like lose a pawn without a whole lot to show for it to me. But sometimes the ways of the engine are mysterious. What can I say? Okay, thanks for the game, Sean. Who do we have next? Atticus, you're up. We played one game before. I remember that game. It had a cool little mating pattern. Let's go g6 in this one. I like that, Tipsy Ton. The Onion has an article about this. Quote, chess GM tired of people comparing every life situation to a chess match. Isn't that the truth? Okay, interesting move order here. Could go knight f6 and enter a king's Indian. I'm going to play kind of a risky move, f5. I do not think this is a good move. Do not repeat this. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, let's play h6 now. I think e4 would have been the critical test of this idea. I'm trying to like back into a Leningrad Dutch, but e4 is the move that casts doubt on it. I would almost guarantee that the engine hates black's position after e4. Let's play g5. Close to a Dutch, yeah. Thing is, I delayed knight f6 for a while, so if White did have a chance to play e4 there. All right, let's castle now. We're going to castle on this wing. Even though I put the pawns up here, this actually still feels fairly safe to me. Let's go e6. Should I establish a extended bathtub here? That seems interesting. Let's go for it. This kind of shuts down the whole queen b3 idea. Ooh, and now e4. Okay, this is getting spicy at this point. That looks tactically shaky, though, right? If I take here, knight takes, then knight takes e4, I'm on this knight. So let's take this one. I've had to destroy the bathtub, but this might work out for me. This is covered, so I'm not worried about knight takes e6. I pushed a lot of pawns, but hey, white's king is still in the center, and I'm winning a pawn in this line. Yeah, I use a plugin to randomly select a challenge. That is correct. So if you challenge, you're just entered into a pool of players who also challenge. It's not in order of when you challenge. Okay, Atticus is thinking. Now, Atticus could take here. And likewise, I could have taken on e4 if I wanted. I probably should have thought about that. But okay, yeah, bishop takes b7, I feel like was critical there. I could go queen b6 here, perhaps. That seems kind of lame, though. Let's go knight c6. Castle's short. Okay. This queen is nearly trapped over here. Nearly. I mean, this seems already kind of awkward for white. So let's play it. All right. Bishop c5. Yeah. So what now? Queen a4 followed by knight b5? Is that the plan? I guess it is. Oof. I still feel like I can somehow win material here. Let's go here. Just trying to front run knight b5. I want to go bishop d7. Oh, but bishop d7. Oh, okay. But I can take here. I think I thought I had this move against that, but there's queen takes a5. Fortunately, I can do this. This now feels a little shaky for me, though. Bishop d7, queen takes a5. Yeah, bishop b6 isn't doing anything. Okay, I got to take here. My knight might get trapped, though. We'll see. I guess I have this square if I need to bail out, but that too seems kind of sketchy, you know? Should I take now and have an outposted knight on d2? That would be kind of funny. Also, I think I see a refutation of that. But let's try it, because it's a funny idea. Now, white has a refutation of this. It involves a weird move, though. What should white play here? I'm not gonna say in the case that Atticus is watching. Oh, Atticus found it. Nice, Atticus. All right, I got to try to throw sand in Atticus's eyes. Now here, okay, white can just take. Oh, but now I take here. Am I bailing? I might be bailing. I've got the attack on the queen. I've advanced every single one of my pawns. It just goes there, really. Okay, this is heating up. Dare I bring the knight back to d2? Let's do it. Just for the lulz. I know I lose h6, but we're going to do it for the memes. Rook a7, helping to defend. I think I should be winning now. White's not getting enough compensation. Not enough. Watch for knight d2 somewhere. Can I do it now? Nah, let's just keep going with the pawns. All right, I'll take, I guess. Everything's being lost here. Atticus is fast. Look at this. Oh. All right. Just barely won. What a weird game. Nicely found, knight b1, Atticus. I put you to the test there, and you found it. The backward knight move to capitalize on the pin. Oh, it's not even the best move. This has been a theme today. Of course, the engine gives it 2 question marks. It looked good at the time, right? Wow, black is better here. You don't say. Black is actually better in this position. This happens about once every stream. Well, okay, much more than that. But like once every stream where it really shocks me that the engine gives a certain eval when I thought it was completely the opposite eval. I thought this whole sequence was like highly suspect for me and that I was probably losing here. But the engine says no need to worry. Knight b1 is not even in the top 5 moves. This might be a good candidate for a YouTube clip when there's a surprise in the evaluation like this. So why does it hate knight b1 so much? Oh, bishop d7. Okay, b5 is not bad as I played, even though it's got the question mark. It's only because bishop d7 is better. Yeah, I didn't see that. Clearly. Did not see that whatsoever. But that blocks the file and therefore takes away the pin, at least of the knight on d2. So allows me to play this next move when the white queen moves. And I guess if this happens, yeah, I can take on c2. I could even probably play this position. I've got a lot of pawns for it. I'm sure this is good for black. Even when you're wrong, you're right, John. If only chess were always that surprising in your favor. Yeah, I guess even this line is acceptable for black. I don't have that much to fear, evidently. But it looked very scary in game. Probably because of the way this went down. Like b4, I had miscalculated. I should have gone bishop d7 right away. I tried to get cute. And although this is still good, it's not what I had planned a few moves prior. Thanks for the game, Atticus. Yeah, I do think e4 was premature, though. I think you're not quite tactically ready for that move. Very interesting one. Let's just also check if this f5 move. Yeah, I think e4 is the critical test here because again, I'm trying to like duck into a Dutch defense. Yeah, this seems to score pretty well for white. No, not as bad as I thought actually for black, but I think that's what I would play on the white side. Okay, thanks again for the game. Lambo Shock, good luck to you. Let's play knight f3 in this game. Oh, look at that. We just got a raid. Raid from Chiquitas on Twitch. Thank you very much. 179 viewers. That is a massive raid. Cheers to Chiquitas. Hope you had a great stream. This is Lichess Plays. This is a weekly event where I play viewers for 2 hours. We're on the second half of the stream here. We got about 35 minutes remaining. So if anyone wants to challenge me, I am International Master John Bartholomew. If anyone wants to challenge me, feel free to send it over to Fins, F-I-N-S. It has to be a 3+0 challenge is the only stipulation. Standard chess, so no variants or anything crazy. I will abort the game if it's anything else, but 3+0, it can be rated or unrated, casual, up to you. Thanks again, Chiquitas. Okay, I'm playing this Catalan style. We're offering up the pawn on c4. I still have over 50 challenges, Joseph. So still quite a few challenges. And I want to give a special thanks to the players who consistently challenge every week, even when their challenge is not randomly selected. I really appreciate that you guys do that. I do tend to believe if you challenge often enough, you will get picked by the algorithm. It's just a matter of time. But I realize it's random. So some of you might just be getting extremely unlucky. But regardless, we appreciate you tuning in, even if you don't get a game. Yeah, thanks again, Chiquitas. Who is Chiquitas again? I feel like I might have seen your stream before, but I don't know. Have you done Lichess plays before too? I feel like you've done some Lichess streams. This is now a problem for black because if the knight moves, I can take on d5. So black has issues here. There have been cases of someone getting a challenge twice in one stream. Oh, yeah, yeah. I think there's even been someone who got 3 games one time. I believe that happened at one point. Oh, yeah, Laura Unuk. Is that right? I think we met briefly at the Reykjavik Open several years ago. That's cool. Yeah. Good to see you streaming. Okay, here. So I'm up a pawn in this position. The bishop is anchoring the pawn on e5. Queen c2 looks reasonable. Let's go attack the bishop. Hello, ajedrez combinado. Greetings. Yes, you can, Ariane. Yeah, you can challenge again after you played. I know you know that. You absolutely know that at this point, Ariane. Do I know the Caro? Yes, I play the Caro from time to time. It's not one of my main openings, but I do wheel it out on occasion. It's similar to the Scandi, so that's why I like it. Ooh, okay, so Lambo gets out of the way of the attack from the bishop on g2, but steps into some discoveries. Like I can go knight f6 here. I could go knight e3. Knight takes b6. Let's go knight f6 because it wins the queen. And Lambo resigns. Yeah, that was uncomfortable for you, I would say, after my knight came to e5. That is a big theme in this type of line. Probably what's critical for you, Lambo, is to actually try to take on c4 right here. I'm going to guess that's what the engine wants to do. Yep. D takes c4. So when white plays Catalan style and Fianchetto's the light square bishop, they are often leaving that pawn on c4 up for grabs. So if you want to take it at some moment where my bishop is not in a position to attack it, and you control the e5 square, so if I play knight e5 now, trying to play knight takes c4, there's multiple issues with that. Like d4 is hanging, but also maybe you could take. That's probably going to be the critical thing to do. Otherwise, having your knight on c6 blocking the c pawn, not the best long term. That's a bit sketchy for you. Thank you for the game, though. I very much appreciate it. Am I still in Minnesota? Yes, I am. Yep, I still live here. Okay. McNegcraft. Good luck to you. Oh, speaking of Caro, we're getting a Caro con. Let's play a 2 knights variation. Queen e2, I think, is the most promising move here. You can also take on f6. There's a lot of theory with that, but I think it's emerging that this is actually the better move these days. Just do not play knight bd7 in this position if you're black, because of knight d6 checkmate. Yeah, e6. Okay, so this is... I don't think they play e6 this early most of the time. I think it's usually knight d7. All right, let's go b3. I'm kind of out of book at this point, but I'm just going to play some moves that look natural. Oh. All right. McNegcraft, I'm gonna throw you a bone here. We're gonna throw you a bone. Oh, thank you for the 15 seconds. Okay, this still might end violently for McNegcraft, but we didn't play Queen takes h7. But there's still a decent chance this is going to end in tears for black. I don't know, though. You never know. That's just classic, like the immediate oops. I'm sure all of you can relate to that. Just right after you Right after you blunder, you see it immediately. Yeah, this is kind of a sketchy king position for black. You know, when you play e6 and you lock in the light square bishop too, it's just tough. It's just tough, man. There, we're going to go here. And already I'm kind of crashing through. Oof. All right, so now let's just try to calculate this to mate. So take, if h takes, then we got checkmate down here. So really the only relevant line is if f takes, and then rook takes h7, king takes. I think easiest then is queen h5. You'd think it would be rook h1, but queen h5 is mate in 2 thereafter. So yeah, let's take. And let's go bombs away. It's also like bishop takes g6. I think pretty much every move that's logical there is going to win. Now, maybe black can prolong the game here. I was thinking queen f6 was probably the only move there. This one gets checkmated. So I think if black goes here, they can at least prolong the game a little bit. Probably the only move to do so. I don't think any other move is going to cut it. Yeah, queen f6. +8, but everything else is force mate. So, thanks for the game, McNegcraft. Yeah, this variation, I know, just has a bunch of theory. Queen d5, offering a queen trade, knight d7. I have not seen, and you don't see it in the Masters database here either, I've not seen e6 this early, so I think the logic is that you don't want to lock this bishop in that early if you can avoid it. But I do know there are some heavy theoretical lines with knight d7, bishop c4, knight f6, and now knight e5, which is a flashy little idea because, of course, if black takes, there's checkmate on f7 with the knight guarding f7 and d7. So I know at that point black plays e6, but this is a better version of what you got in the game because black has already rotated the knight around here. I think oftentimes black plays b5 coming up, tries to break out of this a little bit. So maybe look into the theory there a little bit more. Or you can look into queen d5, which is also a good move. Okay, thank you for the game. Elbow, you're up 2070. Elbow 1990. Good luck to you. John the Merciful, right. Okay, let's play knight f6. It would be fun to incorporate a challenge. I just saw someone say knight sack on f7. It would be fun to incorporate a challenge where I try to sack like a certain piece on a certain square. Maybe we could do that for today. You guys know I usually do the blindfold game at the end of the stream. But what do you guys think about taking a chat suggestion to like sacrifice a piece on a certain square and seeing if I can make it happen? That would be kind of fun to mix it up. Ooh, bishop takes c6 I don't really like. I think that giving up that bishop, that gorgeous bishop, is unwise. Mikhail Tal did something like that too, by the way. There's a famous anecdote where Tal had one of his friends like come to the tournament hall, and I believe he asked his friend like, "Oh, do you want?" I'm probably gonna botch this story, but he's like, "Pick a square, and I'll try to sacrifice a piece on that square tomorrow in my game." And I think the friend came back around to the tournament hall, and he was able to do it. Knight sacrifice somewhere. Can you also do it blindfold? Oof, that would really be a challenge. I mean, I might be willing to try it, but that would be a serious challenge. Let's try for knight e4 here. This is looking shaky for white. Yeah, right, Alex? Trying to mix it up a little bit every once in a while, you know? Okay, knight h4. So if I'm going to go jump my knight somewhere, now seems like the time to do it. I don't know, though. I'm not super convinced by it. Let's go here first. I'm going to attack this pawn. We'll see how white reacts. Yep, f3. Come back. Still perhaps looking for knight d5. This knight's looking a little lonely over here too. But let's play knight d5. Discovery on the queen. Now here I can go check and then knight e3 if I want. Don't know that I'm going to have much better than that, so let's go for it. That knight's going to be annoying on e3. Ooh, and this walks into the check as well. Oh, I see your username. Nice. Mikhail Tal Disciple. He was one of a kind. And I mentioned this book a lot, but one of my favorite chess books, like absolute favorite chess book, if I had to single out one book, is Mikhail Tal's Life and Games. Life and Games of Mikhail Tal. Such a fun book. He was a great author. And it's like the perfect blend of anecdotes, game analysis, interesting positions from his career, and just him discussing his life. He had an eventful life. Why not bishop h3 instead of bishop e6? Yeah, bishop h3 was possible. You know, I maybe vaguely thought white could close the door on it with g4 or something. And mostly bishop e6, I wanted to try to get it out of the way in preparation for knight d5. I think I can take here now. Sack bishop g7 as black should be fun. So I was thinking more like, you know, something towards the center, like some sort of achievable sacrifice. Because bishop g7 is like not really a common sacrifice, right? Like that's like a Lafong attempt. You know, something like knight takes d5, you can work in a lot more easily than bishop g7 in a logical, semi-logical way. Let's take. Let's give a check. All right. Albo, thank you for the game. I think that bishop takes c6, that early decision you made with that, was just too sketchy. Too strong of a piece to give up, fianchettoed bishop for a knight, especially when you're allowing me to capture towards the center. I already think black has a pretty big advantage here after that. I'm not going to claim I played this perfectly by any means, but yeah, this is just a tough position for you to play against the two bishops. Can I check bishop takes b1? Well, there you go. Bishop takes b1 is the best move here. Yeah, I didn't consider that, but now that it's up there, I see exactly why. It's actually not a very complicated line. Trade and then knight d5, gain a tempo on the queen, and then knight takes c3 is coming. So yeah, clearly that was the way to go. But I just had it in my head I wasn't going to trade that bishop for the knight, which is kind of a foolish assumption on my part. Also, I think I was kind of focused on this with the light square bishop on board. Looks like knight d5 is still good here. So yeah, bishop g4. I do think that's deserving of 2 question marks. You know, sometimes the engine eval is kind of harsh, but I believe it. I mean, that's just definitely not the best move. Okay, thanks for the game, Albo. So we got about 20 minutes left here. We're going to get a few more games in. Christopher, good luck to you. Yes, we have one game we played before. Yeah. Trying to remember that game. I think it was even. I want to say you were just down on the clock. Let's play a Pierce in this one. D6. Oh, thank you, Mikhail Tal Disciple. I think of you like Karpov, like a boa constrictor, but you must have played like Tal at a younger age. Definitely when I was younger, and especially when I played E4 regularly, I did go for more attacking chess. But I gotta say, like, my natural style is more strategic for sure. I've always preferred to attack from like a position of strength rather than making like speculative sacrifices. That's just always been my MO in chess. Um, but yeah, certainly when I was younger, I played like more speculative gambits from time to time. Okay, I do know this line. I know now you can play knight c6 so that if d5, you can play knight b4. And the inclusion of a4, a6, a4 should favor black because I get access to the square without being bothered by a3. It's kind of the thinking. Hello, Tien Khan. I'm glad I haven't played you today. I know it's not too late. I might still play you, but I'm still reeling from that game where you flagged me last time. Will I show the queue? I could, but it's actually of no use to you because, again, this is random, so this is not an order. I just have a accept random challenge button. Can you guys see that button? Yeah, you can. Accept random challenge. Okay, here I think I should go e5. Christopher's putting a stop to bishop g4. But we can go ahead and play e5. You know that Soltis book about Tal, Spassky, Korchnoi, and Petrosian? I like it a lot, says Boom Shakalaka. I'm not familiar with what book you're talking about, actually, but Soltis is absolutely a prolific author. I think he's wrote like 70, 75 books or something, so yeah, he's pretty good. That's the nice thing about chess, right? Like there's scope for all sorts of styles. There's not like a dominant style in chess. And in fact, I think what you're seeing nowadays is that the good players are universal. You know, like they have such finely developed skills. It's difficult nowadays to even tell who's like more of an attacking player, who's more of a defensive player. I mean, they have some small preferences, but really it's just been borne out that you got to be pretty much good at everything these days if you want to be the best. Okay, so if I take here, Christopher can insert this capture. But I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, looks like that was pre-moved. That's a mistake because I can take with the queen. So I think bishop takes f6 was the only way to keep that interesting. Have I done the bomb cloud at the end of a stream before? Yes. Yeah, we used to do the horsey set. So up here under the P set, choosing the horsey one, which is right there. You can see it in the bottom right corner. And then playing Bon Cloud with it. But that kind of lost its novelty. So then we switched to the blindfold games, which is, for me, like really challenging and interesting. Maybe play a variant at the end. The problem is nobody challenges, you know, I've instructed people to challenge standard chess rather than the variant. I think we'll stick with the blindfold game for today, but we'll keep things open to suggestions for the future. I'm up a pawn here. White probably has a little bit of compensation, but it is a pawn after all. E4 maybe? I'm in slight danger of being overextended, I think, if I play that. Knight a5 is something that comes to mind. Looks a bit incorrect, though. I don't know. I'll play it. Knight on the rim. Why not? That's the saying. It's not knight on the rim is dim or grim. It's knight on the rim. Why not? It doesn't even rhyme, but who cares? Opening request by opponent if they want as last game. That's an interesting suggestion. Interesting. What to do here? I have a check on e2 if I want it. I can play rook c8, but that feels pretty defensive. I'm going to go rook over here. This is going to lose 2 pawns, but my opponent only has 2 seconds. Okay, thanks for the game, Christopher. Yes, time management, once again, was your big issue there. But that's kind of an instructive moment right here, just like the order of the captures. This is the obvious recapture, but in fact, bishop takes f6 would prevent you from losing a pawn. I think the engine still is going to like black, though, because the dark square bishop will probably be pretty good. Let's say you take with the pawn and then this happens. You can support this, but this bishop's going to get opened up. Yeah, this is all pretty standard stuff, though. You see some games in the Masters database from here. Does not look like this scores very well for white, this particular line, which is interesting. The Lichess database is a bit better for white compared to the Masters, but this is heavily tilted towards black in the Masters database. That's really interesting. So much so, like down here, this is Sigma. This is the total amount of games played from this position in the Masters database. The percentage that white is scoring is not even visible compared to black at 42% of the games and then 48% ending in draws. So that means overall black is scoring, what, 66% in this position? As you take the win percentage and then half of the draws. So 24 plus 42. I mean, that's really good. I mean, anything above 50% is awesome for black. I would say when you're looking at opening stats, most like mainstream openings seem to score like 55% for white if you take the wins and then half the draws. So that can be kind of your rough judge of like how a certain line is scoring, provided there's a sufficient number of games. So it's interesting. All right. Thanks for the game, Christopher. Tascaria, you're up next. I think we'll probably get in 2, maybe 3 games. Let's play knight f6 in this one. Oh, the London system. All right, I'll play d6. I know I sound so excited to face the London, but I, for some reason, didn't want to face it after knight f6 on move 1. I don't know why, but I just didn't want to. Let's see if Tascaria blunders this. I don't think Tascaria will. Bishop d3, okay. So I can take this bishop at any moment. I'm not going to do it yet. We're going to work up to it. We're going to play some useful chess first. Maybe queen coming out. We're going to let white think about when I'm going to do it. We're not going to tip our hand yet. Yep, that's correct, Connor. This is a 2-hour stream. Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's go knight here. Knight a3. Interesting. Maybe looking to go to c4. Okay, let's go here. I can perhaps try to induce this move. Debatable how good that is, but it's interesting. Thanks to everyone for tuning in today. Just looking at the numbers, we got over 200 on YouTube. How many we got on Twitch? Let's check. Nice. Over 400 on Twitch. Awesome stuff. Appreciate you guys tuning in every week. Let's, might be time to take that bishop. I think let's take now. And I think I'm going to pivot this one back to d7 because white's ready to play e5. I want to try to take the sting out of that. Open up the capture here as a possibility. Try to force white to do something with this pawn. Okay, queen e3. So white keeps the tension. Now if I take, white would presumably take with the pawn. I can also think about playing b5 here. I'm definitely curious about that move. Let's do it. Going for maximum expansion. I might establish an inverted bathtub here with a6 coming up after the knight moves, but let's see where the knight steps. Okay. I think I'm going to go rook b8 now. No inverted bathtub. I'm going to probably try for b4 if allowed. I get this feeling, though, white's going to castle this way. Yep. So the game might be more tilted towards like a strategic type of game at this point, despite some of the early maneuvers. Hard position to assess. I mean, I kind of like my slight initiative here with the two bishops, but white's playing good moves like rook e1, e5. That actually seems pretty wise. Let's take this one. Oh, I got to be careful here, actually. I'm just realizing. I have to be very careful. Queen e4, I think, is a threat. I mean, maybe white could have tried that on the previous move. I could go f5, but we'll check that after the game. I'm curious if that was just good for my opponent. Therefore, maybe I should go here. Let's do that. It seems kind of wrong, but I'm terrified of queen e4 now. So let's try to shut that down. Whoa. Knight takes g5. All right. All right. I respect it. All right. We got to give Tuscaria a chance to score here. I respect the sacrifice. I'm going to go into the fire here and see if my opponent can checkmate me. H7 is looking real sketchy for me at this moment. But I've got some tricks up my sleeve. I have some defensive chances. Okay, so here, do I play f5 or do I move the rook? Initially, I was thinking move the rook, but now I'm thinking f5. Let's do it. And I'm really trying to get my knight involved. If white takes en passant, get the knight involved, attack the queen, guard h7. If not for that resource, maybe I would be in big trouble. Probably take now. But now I actually feel pretty safe, you know? I've got some nice protection here going on. Let's take this one. Let's go here. Link back up with this. I will push. Oh, just takes. I didn't actually see that was possible. Okay, time is going to tell the tale at this point. Should have taken on f2, but whatever. Time scramble. Oh, I feel a little bit bad about that flag at the end because Tuscaria was coming up with some good moves there at the very, very end of that one. That's still sharp. Still very sharp. And looks like white is doing well here. Let's see. So takes, yeah, queen e4 was possible because it threatens checkmate, also threatens the bishop. F5, I'm sure that's what I would have played. Queen d5 check. So not taking en passant, even though that's natural, that runs into the same issue as in the game. But instead giving a check on d5. And then when black steps out of the way, probably just recapturing now. Yeah, tangled position. So I think we both kind of overlooked that was possible immediately. Yeah, and it doesn't look like the engine buys this sacrifice, but not the way that I played it. It doesn't like my bishop retreat. It says do this. It says do this and then go here. Leave the bishop under attack. That's kind of a tough defense, though, to play. It says go on the counter attack. Oof, interesting. Wow, look at this. So if white plays knight f3, which did cross my mind, if white just simply prepares knight g5, it actually says black's completely busted here. And I can kind of see why. It's not easy for me to maneuver my pieces. But the slow motion attack, I mean, en passant, very hard to resist there, right? Especially in a time pressure situation. but the slow motion attack is better. Probably because, guys, let's just say I move my rook and then knight g5 comes and then I play knight f8 to guard this and guard this. At some point, like even taking and then taking on f5 is probably good. g4 also good here. And the bishop is starting to open up, and my pieces do not look impressive whatsoever here. So I was sort of playing off the fact that en passant looks by far the most natural way to continue the attack, open the rook. But fortunately for me, it gives me a chance to get the knight in the action. Yeah, I think we both played kind of poorly from here, mainly me. Tiscaria was finding some good moves, like I said, but... Okay, thanks for the game. It is time for our final game of the stream. Let me do the honors of... it's under preferences. I always forget. Of hiding my pieces. So you guys are going to see a blank board. It is not a bug. Do not shut off the stream. You're going to see a blank board. I'm going to play... Oh, Schrodinger's queen. Tough opponent here. I have the black pieces. If you want to follow the game and see the pieces, follow Fins, F-I-N-S, on Lichess. You can observe me. All right, let's stick with what we know. We got to stick with Scandi here against Schrodinger's queen. Thanks to everyone for tuning in once again. This is the final game of the stream. We got our work cut out for us. Fortunately, I'm playing an opening I probably know better than any other opening. So I've got that going for me, which is nice. All right. Let's play d4. Bishop f5 against d4. Yep, bishop d2. Oh, I actually chose the wrong line. I messed up my move order slightly. All right, let's go queen b6. No matter. I should have played bishop g4 against this one instead of bishop f5. But it's okay. It's still acceptable. Oh, thank you, No Joke Chess. No Joke Chess just put up the link if you want to follow on Lichess directly. You can click that link. Okay, I got Schrodinger thinking. Knight e2. Okay. I'm not going to take on b2. Let's go e6. Taking that pawn looks a little risky at the moment. Castles. Okay. Bishop e7. Knight g3. How about this now? Yeah, I'm going to try to repair my earlier mistake and go bishop g4. Queen e1. All right. I'm tempted to grab this pawn. Very tempted. Pawn grabbing can get you in trouble, especially in blindfold games, but I got to do it. This hits the bishop on c4. Has to be played. Gives a check. Okay, let's play c6. We're going to block. I'm expecting bishop e3 here. Yeah, attack the queen with tempo. Queen over, must be played. a3, chasing. Okay. White can chase again if they want with b4. Yep. Okay, let's bring this back now. Okay, I think that actually worked out pretty well. I made it out of that with an extra pawn. White has to move the bishop again. Bishop comes back. Let's complete the development here. Pre-move this capture if Schrodinger wants to take. I'm seeing the position pretty clear right now, and I'm up on the clock. Super important. Because these tend to devolve into time scrambles, that's for sure. All right. Just castle. Queen e2 hits the knight. Let's bring this back. Stay coordinated. Queen f3. Okay, how about knight e5 now? Let's do it. I think Schrodinger is going to go here. And I can't take the bishop at that point because there is an alignment, but I can play bishop d6. Let's do that. Okay, what about this, though, now? I think I'm close to winning here, guys. Maybe there's some tricks. Yep. Okay, take. Queen h4. I would think g6 is the move here. Let's do it. This is getting sharp now. But that is a piece. It's a piece after all. Knight's coming in. Okay. Do I have knight f3 check and then bishop takes f4? I think I do. Let's do it. I got to trust my instincts. Take. Now there's knight f6. But if I just go here, what happens? Rook d7, queen e5? I think it's winning. I'm up a piece. Take with the pawn here. My king is on h6 and white is a queen on h4, but I am up a piece at this point, so it should be winning. King h1, okay. Let's go queen f5. I want to guard the f7 pawn. I'm overprotecting f7. Rook g4, kind of annoying. What about bishop here now, though? Isn't that good? Because then I can actually take the rook after white moves the queen. Can take here now. Let's go here. Here. Oh no, did I blunder checkmate? Not quite. I'm escaping. I almost blundered mate on f7, but I think it's still winning at the end. White could have taken with the rook, though. White could have played rook takes f7 to skewer my king and my queen. We get the win. Schrodinger loses on time. But that was a bit sloppy by me at the end. I think the rest of the play up to that point was pretty darn good. Whew. Thanks for the game, Schrodinger's Queen. We'll take a quick look at that before we wrap the stream. Click off the blindfold. Oh, yeah. That would have been a nasty way to blow this. But fortunately, white didn't have any time at the end. Okay, good. Oh, even after rook takes f7, it's still winning. But yeah, there was no reason to allow queen h5. Should just step here. Nice. All right. The average centi pawn loss wasn't that great for either of us, but I don't know. I felt like, okay, yeah, against this move order, I should have played bishop g4. Took d4. Okay, the engine says white has some compensation here. But white probably has to play accurately to prove it. Yeah, the real sharp stuff happened when Schrodinger's went for my knight on e5, and there was this alignment that was introduced. So bishop d6, and then bishop f4. Queen h4 is better here. Okay, because I can't play knight takes f4 due to mate. Right. Okay. So that makes sense that would have been stronger. I would have to go g6. I probably would have played that, or maybe knight back to f6. We're going to rate another title player taking challenges when John signs off. Okay, great. Excellent. Yeah, so as played, looks like I evaluated this correctly, that this was not working out for white, but it looks kind of scary. Oh, knight g4. Knight g4, the backward knight move yet again. Okay, so that was not perfectly played by me. Here, I got to play queen b6 or bishop h2 and then queen f4. Ooh, yeah, queen b6 is a hard move to play here, especially in a blindfold game. That's a pretty high degree of difficulty move because naturally you want to keep your queen close to your king when you're defending like this. I think, just knowing myself, if I was aware of what was happening here with knight g4, I would have gone for this line, which even still allows this, but there's a little bit of a pin issue for white. Oh, okay, so that was another blemish on this one. But yeah, after this looks pretty legit. I was pretty happy how this went. Rook g4, creative move, but I can take the rook after that. All right. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you guys next Sunday. We're going to raid, I don't know exactly who, but someone taking challenges. So if you want to challenge another master or a strong player, feel free to stick around on the Twitch raid. Thanks to the YouTube audience as well. You guys all have a great week, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks again, guys. Check out the Lichess YouTube channel.